Good morning and welcome back. Now it's time for our edition of Brand X. The Macworld Expo is all the talk in the tech world this morning. Apple CEO Steve Jobs takes the stage in a few hours to deliver his keynote address to the San Francisco Expo, and he has a tough act to follow this year. Yes, it's himself. Well, last year Jobs unveiled the iPhone at the conference, and investors watched as the stock climbed throughout the year. Now the question, as always, is what's next? Fans on Main Street and investors on Wall Street anticipate the unveiling of new products. Here to sort through all the rumors in today's edition of Brand X are the CNET senior editor, Dan Ackerman, and independent trader, Eric Bolling. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey.
All right, so Dan, what are they going to come up with this year after the iPhone?
Well, the iPhone is a really tough act to follow. What Apple does is they don't tell you in advance what they're going to have. A lot of other tech companies will kind of give journalists advanced peeks at the new products they have coming out. Apple doesn't do that, so they build up all this anticipation, and it's almost like a cult of personality about Steve Jobs and his big keynote, and the fans line up the night before. There are all kinds of rumors floating around the web, but nobody really knows for sure.
Eric, you know, we talk about the anticipation. I mean, you obviously love the iPhone. We know that. How does the market react to this? You know, do people wait with bated breath to see what he has to unveil?
I think the market has an idea what he's going to come out with. I think everything I'm reading is the lighter notebook, possibly a stronger, better, maybe a G3 iPhone. Look, Apple is innovative. They've come out with the right products. Everyone loves these things. I switched to a Mac this year. Fantastic. I thought there was going to be a problem going to Safari from Windows. No problem. Has iMovie, has great software loaded in. I love everything Apple is doing. I don't think they're going to make any surprise announcements. I think they're just going to continue doing what they do. Innovate, come out with the products that we love to use. And our kids, my son loves his iTouch. He loves his notebook, and he loves his Macintosh.
All right, Dan, I want to turn to you because Eric mentioned some of the rumors as to what they may, in fact, tell us. First of all, talk about introducing an online movie rental services on iTunes. Talk about that. That's
almost 100%. A lot of big movie studios are going to be lined up to join up with this. And basically, you'll get a movie from iTunes just like you do now, but instead of paying $9 or $12 for it, it'll be like $3 or $4, but it will expire after a couple of days. So, you know, I don't think that's going to really resonate with people. People like to own the content they download. They don't like to get big files on their computer
why not buy a
and have them expire after a couple of days.
Okay. What about the updated version of the Apple TV set-top box? That's another rumor.
Now, the Apple TV came out last year, and it's a clever idea. It wasn't really a huge hit. What it does is it's a wireless streaming box. It takes the stuff you have on your computer and puts it on your TV, like movies and music. The problem is most people don't really want their computers and TVs talking to each other all the time. It's kind of a niche product, but this new version will probably have all kinds of cool high-def support, and if they have the movie rentals from iTunes, that might actually be a nice little synergy there.
Okay. Now, as Eric mentioned, possibly an ultra-mobile, really thin laptop. Talk about that.
I think we're definitely going to see a new notebook of some kind this year, and the smart money is on an ultra-portable, but for Mac, that might mean something that's the same size as a current 13-inch, but really, really super slim, less than an inch thin, and probably aluminum.
Now, what about with the iPhone, G3, G8? I've seen everything in the research. What are we expecting?
I don't think we're going to see that. I think at most for the iPhone, we'll see a 16-gig version, which is twice as big as the current one, and we'll definitely see a software development kit that's an SDK, and that will let other people write software for the iPhone.
Maybe cheaper?
Just maybe.
Kidding.
All right. He pulled that one already this year.
All right. So, Eric, talk to us about the reaction after the speech and the unveiling of the products. What do you think Wall Street does?
Well, it doesn't matter what happens right after, Alexis. I think going forward, I think by the end of the year, you're going to see a above $200 price tag on the stock, which is 10% higher from here. I think it has a real shot at being a $250 stock towards the end of the year. Look, they are going to, by the way, I think when they come out with earnings from this Christmas season, off the charts. I mean, you walk by any Apple store, the place was packed, people were buying stuff. I think you're going to see fantastic earnings from Apple, and I think it's one of the stocks that if it does dip, you need to be a buyer of Apple stock.
On the other hand, though, Eric, isn't a lot of this good news priced in? I mean, to some degree, you say, is this thing invincible? Because the other day, with the talk of the China Mobile deal falling apart, the stock was up like 2.5%. I mean, at some point, is this thing priced in for perfection?
No, because Apple will be in China. It may not. It may be with China Mobile. It may be with one of the other providers in China. They'll be in China. They'll be in Europe. They'll be everywhere. They really are revolutionary, innovative, and a great company to be owning stock in.
All right, Dan, I just want to ask you finally before we go about about record labels, right? They had this deal, this promotion deal with Pepsi and Apple 4 years ago. Now they're talking about there were those with 100 million songs in the Super Bowl. Now it's Pepsi and Amazon.
And Amazon, yes.
What's going on there? Why not Apple?
Well, iTunes has really ruled the online music space for a long time. Amazon is surprisingly making a really good play because they have DRM-free music, just plain, unprotected MP3s you can download and do whatever you want with. It's picking up a lot of steam, so it's not surprising that Pepsi is turning to them for their new promotion.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens today. We'll wait with bated breath.
That's right.
All right. Dan and Eric, thank you both so much. I appreciate it.